This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my God.
Welcome back to The Cringe is Real, the podcast that cringes along with Australian reality TV and pop culture at large. I'm Sam Crimean, and don't tell anyone, but my guest this week is a secret undercover gay who's been harvesting tea for me from the villa. It's the gorgeous Michael McDermott. Season 2 of FBoy Island Australia is currently airing weekly on Mondays only on Binge, and I'll be recapping it each week with a special guest. Michael McDermott, welcome back to The Cringe is Real.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming back.
Yeah, again in person, except now
on
camera.
Now on full 3D
we've
film.
upgraded.
Yeah. What's got you cringing this week, babe?
Well, as super fans of the pod will remember, last time what got me cringing was straight events because
you went to Fred again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a big fan.
Huge fan of this pod.
Yeah. Me too. So I'm worried that listeners will think that I have this like vendetta against straight people.
Well,
I mean, some of my best friends are straight.
Wow,
I know.
really?
My parents are straight. I have a
Good
deep
on you.
respect and appreciation for the straight community. I just think
Even
that,
after watching this show?
Well, that's the thing. This show has really radicalized me.
Yes.
Against heterosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if anything, this show represents how unnatural and not of God it is. But what's got me cringing actually is not straight people, for once. Actually, it's you've seen online the meme, very demure.
Oh,
very
yeah.
mindful.
I'm already over it, and it's only we're only week 3 of this.
It was
I'm
very
done.
quick. It was
Yeah.
very quick. We're done. No, I think, what's got me cringing is when brands kind of adopt it. There was
Didn't Joe Biden say something or something?
God, yeah,
I saw
I'm not
something.
yes,
it was used in the
It's very that.
No.
So there was this girl that posted on Twitter like a screenshot of her emails from all the brands that when they send out their emails and they all had demure in the subject line. And I'm just like, it's honestly like when your dad is trying to get in on the joke and doesn't quite get it. But it's just a very quick.
The ladies in my office will be saying it like next week.
Yeah,
and they'll be
exactly.
like, Sam,
Yeah.
demure? Is that it?
And-
Did I get it right?
And it's over.
Yes.
Very quick, very easy.
Thank
But
you.
also cringing at self-cringe because I feel like cringing at trends when they're no longer trendy is also very easy to do.
Yes,
and fun.
very.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what's got me cringing.
Oh, I love that. How good. FBoy Island.
What
Straight
an
the fuck
episode.
into it. I can't even contain myself. Firstly, you are the queerbaiting master.
This was
and Nicole,
perfect.
Nicole knows what queerbaiting is.
She does.
Is this thanks to... Has she read some of your work, perhaps?
100%. For listeners who don't know, I did a PhD and wrote my thesis on queerbaiting.
Yeah.
And Nicole has
you're
definitely
welcome.
read the entire
She has,
70,000 words.
While
I'm
she's
not
on
lying.
set, waiting,
Yes.
waiting to be shot.
The crew hand my thesis out to all cast. Yes. Amazing. I cannot believe... I think this is probably the best episode of both seasons.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
And look, write in if you've seen all of the international versions, but I don't think this has happened before.
Not sure. No,
I'm
not
sure it's a setup, but I don't care because this whole show is a setup, and I absolutely don't care.
I think
they cast him knowing that he was a faggot.
Yes, I think they set out to cut to the storyline to cast a gay man, to have him as an F-boy, and
I mean the hair should have been a dead giveaway.
I thought I felt gaslighted because I thought I was losing my mind because as soon as he came out, I was like, that is a gay boy. And then
last week,
not.
Fatima was like, "Oh, it's Frankie Grande with the Frankie Grande hair," and I was like, "Bitch, you were right. More in common with Frankie than we thought."
I feel so validated now that I wasn't just insane.
But also now, everyone at home, like the hets, are going to be like, "Oh, told ya, everyone with the blonde tips."
I mean,
they're all gay.
But it's funny because I wrote wrote notes
Yeah.
as I'm watching the episode, and I can see like my live reaction before
Yeah.
he actually
Before
came
the big
out.
reveal.
Yes, before the big reveal of being like, there's no way this man is not straight.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
I'm glad where it got to as well, because when the reveal happened, I was very upset that it just cut there and then we just went on with the show. I was like, no.
Yes.
And we're
We're
get
jumping
there.
ahead.
We'll
Come
get
on.
there. But I
Yeah.
was disappointed at that moment. But then,
I can't wait
things
to talk
happen.
about it.
So should we start from the very beginning?
Yes.
Okay. So we pick up at the girls' villa. I love this. This was like the walk of shame moment where like the girls all had someone stay over.
I know, brilliant.
So Krystal, our girl, had Doug in bed. And I love their shot is like Doug's completely naked still. Like, I'm assuming they fucked like a few times throughout the night because
of course.
Crystal loves to fuck.
Yes, she is. Okay, can we just backtrack?
please.
Sorry, this episode will be about 4 hours long. Krystal, I know you talk about it every week that she's amazing, but I just want to reiterate that fact as well. Like,
Good.
she is by far the best.
She's the main character.
like she's the main.
the
character.
other two, I'm like, sure.
Take it or leave it. Yeah, no. She
Nicole's
is,
growing on me.
Nicole's
but
growing
still-
only because she fucked.
Yeah, exactly. And because she picked the two like
The two guys that I would also pick.
yeah.
Yeah. But Krystal, like, her body is so jacked because she is carrying the entire weight of this show on her shoulders
Absolutely.
from day one.
She's making Abby Chatfield work hard.
Honestly.
And like Abby is fading into the
Yes.
background.
like Krystal. I think the reason that I find the other two girls quite boring is because Krystal is so
True.
dynamic, and the way that she
That
talks
is
to
a good
camera,
theory.
the way that she's interacting with the other girls and the guy, like she's so, you can't take your eyes off her. She's so funny. She's so natural.
All of it. She had accidentally sucked him off. She had would love to just get railed right now. She had what else? She had the voice DM to Caleb going big like she's fucking iconic.
She's so good.
She
She's so
better
good.
get her own show after this.
I mean, I'm not surprised they got her from another reality TV. Like because she was on The Bachelor.
yeah,
I'm told.
yeah.
I did not watch that. But
I did, but didn't finish it. But I remember her from it. Like I
Right.
remember she was great, and I remember being like, "Where did they find this woman? She's
yeah,
so
yeah.
great."
How far did she make it?
I can't remember.
Probably not that far.
Yeah, it's a different show.
It's pretty.
It was also
racist,
one of
like
well,
usually,
totally,
yeah.
and it was also one of those ones where it had like 3
yes,
guys.
The Bachelors.
Yeah, which why did they do that?
They got to try something.
Yeah, but all 3 of them were shit.
Yeah.
So it's like what?
Well, the show's gone now. So.
Has it forever?
I mean,
Aren't they doing
never
it with
say
old
forever.
people now or something?
In America, yes, the Golden
Yeah,
Bachelor,
which-
and now the Golden Bachelorette. They've just done so.
Imagine Golden FBoy Island.
Just all these like
Horny
dads.
dads.
Yeah.
Hey.
Here's an F boy. Oh, can you imagine like seeing your dad on the show and then just like, oh yeah, my dad's an F boy. Cool.
Oh my god. So
Anyway.
Krystal and Doug wake up together. Then we get Nicole and Jack. Jack with the chin.
Mm-hmm.
They
Thank you. Yes. Oh, I
They
am going
wake
to need
up-
help with the boys.
Okay,
names, by
go
the
on.
way. Yeah. So Chin. Yes.
Chin and Nicole wake up together. Cheeky. He's got a cheeky little thing going on, and like a tinier waist than her. Like what the fuck is his
He
waist?
is so snatched.
But he runs like a brewery or something. His profession is like brewer. I'm like, you've never even looked at a beer.
No.
With that little rig.
We have
He's
to remember
tiny.
these boys are like early 20s. So their genetics, their metabolism, it's all still on track.
True.
You know?
And they all live in the Gold Coast and they fucking just like surf all day.
Yeah, and play sport. Like
And do like
straight men
chin
who
ups on the
get
beach.
who get like incidental exercise by playing sport without
True.
having to like work
Yeah.
out. Oh,
Yeah.
no
Fuck-
eating
fuck
disorders on
them. No gay trauma.
No.
So she wakes up with him, and then fucking Ellie, snooze town of the season,
Oi.
sends Chad, Magic Mike,
Mm-hmm.
off to the couch. Like we already knew she was a prude, and then this I'm just like, girl, can we vote her off?
I mean, I like that she's now. I kind of believe that she does actually like Chad, but I think for her,
She
she
does.
just wants to fuck Joe so badly.
She needs to just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she will, and the world will hate her, and I can't wait.
I know. Oh,
I mean, look, I also want to fuck Joe. But
He's-
the
when
way
they-
I want to do it
Mm.
involves him being like ball gagged
Oh yes,
and
peg
like
him.
heavily punished
Mm.
for being so horrible.
When the social media, I'm jumping ahead, but there was a glance of the Instagram and his body is actually fucked.
Wild. And he's just so huge.
So big.
Yeah.
And his tiny little,
Jack is
tiny
very
little
small.
face though. Small
The
brain,
little tiny
small
brick
brain.
head, and then just everything else is like swollen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And apparently a big
But then-
penis.
Well,
But again,
yeah.
like, they all say that.
I'm gonna need the receipts,
I'm-
guys.
We've
Just
said it
write it
before,
in, right
we'll
into
say
the
it
show.
again. Send us the pics.
We're gonna need facts.
Mhm.
Well, look, back to Ellie and Chad. I would not invite Chad into my bed.
No,
'Cause
he's not
he's-
my type at all, but he's definitely
kind of
Ellie.
sleazy and creepy. He talks like this.
Mm.
But then he's like, oh, I'm such a good guy. Like, I slept on the couch. I just wanted to prove that I'm not like a horny bastard that only wants to fuck.
What a feminist.
And I was like, wow, you're really... Yeah, it wasn't at all that she just told you that you had to, and then you were like, "Fuck."
I'm sure he would have
Yeah.
rejected her had she made
Yeah.
advances. But
Anyway,
I love that his name is Chad as well because he is such
He's
a Chad.
such a
That's a
Chad.
name that I like. The one name that I remember is Chad
Yeah.
because my nickname for him would be Chad.
Yeah,
if I didn't remember his name.
It's like Channing Tatum is
Yeah.
such a Channing. You know what I mean?
Say no more. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
I love she comes out. She's like, I'm so sorry you had to sleep on the couch. She's like, no, like, I totally was going to do that anyway. So, like, we're on the same page, babe.
Dreamboat.
Jack and Nicole, though, together, like,
Hot.
feels correct.
Yeah.
They both look like, the
Yeah.
bullies at school.
They're
They're
both
like
yes.
hooked up. Do you know what I mean?
They're both the like Chadwick
Yeah.
models.
Yes. They're very, central casting.
Mhm.
She's like, oh my God, I had so much fun last night. And Jack looks vanilla, but he's not as vanilla as you think, which
I'm
again,
sure.
I'm going to need some proof. I mean,
Yeah.
we do see him later on, like 69, a blow up
Yeah.
doll, which
Is 69 like, is that like really crazy for straight people? Yeah.
apparently.
Okay.
just having as well. Yeah, anyway.
Well, we're skipping ahead. This episode's so good, we just can't help
I
it.
cannot help myself. Okay, so Krystal and Doug, very cute. She goes, for those of you wondering, he did find it. So I'm glad we got that circle back.
Yes.
He-
The foreshadowing
The
of the
storytelling is just
Oh my god, it's top tier.
impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
He's on cloud nine, and then he calls her in confessional his soon-to-be girlfriend, which I was like, whoa,
I missed that.
settle down. Yeah,
I was too horny.
You're too busy looking for the lotion. No, he said that, which I'm like, okay.
Mhm.
Do you buy their thing? Do you think their romance is genuine?
I think so. I actually like. I think last season, I didn't really believe any of the relationships, even though one of them, like, they're still together.
Oh yeah,
But it was
Molly
just-
and Big Dick Nick.
Yeah. Again,
love
need
Big
the
Dick
evidence.
Nick.
We're men of science. We need evidence. We need proof. But I didn't really quite believe, or maybe I just didn't care about any of the relationships last season. But this season, I actually genuinely think that the girls who they're like sleeping with or interested in, like they
Yeah.
I think they actually like them, and
I think so.
it's quite nice to
They're being
see.
pickier as well this season. I think. I feel like last season I couldn't keep up because they were all constantly churning through.
Yes,
But this one is like they've all got like two that they like.
yeah,
And
which
the rest
is-
of them, I'm like, sorry guys, you're all gone.
exactly.
Like,
You better be good TV.
yeah,
'cause-
yeah. The producers are probably like, fuck.
Yeah, no, but I actually, which does make sense, and I think I kind of like Krystal's choice of men because she genuinely, like, some of the guys that she's like into
Yeah.
on any other season would just be cast off as these, like, you know, the ugly mids, right? It's the year of the mids, so I kind of like that Krystal's our girl to actually bring these like
Can't believe
interesting
I forgot you were the
characters.
mids before in her highlight reel. She's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we get a shot of the beach and the rest of the boys are walking over. And it's like, gag, where are they walking? They're walking to the villa to bust the boys that spent the night. And all the girls are like, oh my God, no. What are you doing here? Oh my God. And then we cut to Joe going like full serial killer. Like, I felt sick seeing my woman.
Full
With
axe
another-
murderer
like-
eyes.
Seriously. He's like, I need to know what happened because my woman's been touched by another man.
which we'll come to.
And then Jack comes out of the bedroom in undies, which I know we've seen him in like
Less.
Speedos at all top moments of the show, but for some reason I got quite excited because they were like quite loose fitting. I don't know.
What was the brand? Do you remember?
Probably like a Hanes.
Oh, yeah. Not a Bonds?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. I was like, wow. And then he's like, oh, what a boner killer. All the boys rocking up. Ha ha ha. Anyway, then we cut to Limbro. And Abby's there doing an art therapy session.
Yes.
And they all have to draw the clitoris, which was interesting.
How do you feel about the Limbro segments this season?
Sometimes they're good. I liked the therapy one. They were better last year, I think.
Yeah.
Or they stuck with me. Maybe because the entire format of the show was new to me.
Yeah.
Last season. I haven't watched any of the American ones. So I was titillated by it. But now I'm a bit like, oh, I've seen it.
How did they end? Like, what was the last Limbro scene last year? Like, did they
I can't remember.
Is it literally just kind of like a comedic relief?
Yeah.
Or is there like an actual
I think
story
if
to
they
it?
do prove somehow, meaning if the producers want to put them back in, they can go back in.
Right.
I think
Which is
that's
what happened. Oh no, Nick was a nice guy. So
he was a nice guy, and
whatever.
there was like a nice guy like bar or something as well.
But I don't think they showed
Which
that.
they've
I
not
think
shown us
just-
that this year.
Yeah, I think that was just they brought Nick back, so they had to.
Yeah,
say that he
no, I
never
remember them
left or-
showing us him at this other place.
Right.
It was like him sitting there, like longing for Molly.
Okay.
Yeah,
But so if it is just like a comedic relief, I don't know. They're kind of. A bit
Do we need
boring.
it?
Yeah, I can see it being cut next season.
yeah, maybe,
Save
or
some
just
money.
some different ideas. Yeah, you don't like seeing Abby in all those little wigs and
That's kind of cute, but we
glasses?
kind of get that. Actually, that is kind of funny.
Yeah,
I do like that. Maybe they just shorten them. I don't know. I just found this one a little boring.
Yeah. What was not boring was the Wheel of Foreplay, which was today's.
So good. So good.
This was very good. I did, however, not enjoy the censoring. Like, do you think they actually had to do that, or they were doing that as a gag? I couldn't quite tell.
Which parts did they censor?
Just like all
Oh,
of
the kind of more explicit stuff. Yeah.
wherever stuff was happening.
I mean, maybe they
like
did.
Nugget with the papaya.
Yeah,
which
I
I
mean-
wanted to see.
It's binge, so I don't know what the like rules are. But I think, Anyway,
I think it was a gag. I think it was to make it
was a bit of a
look
gag.
more explicit than it actually was.
Maybe.
Which worked.
I loved the warning though. I just thought like I was watching this morning on my phone on the tram, and I honestly felt like I needed to hide something. Like I was watching porn on my phone, and I'm one of those like creeps on the tram because it's like
You don't have one of those like grinder-proof screens where
I
you can't look from the side. I don't have one
I'm
of
not
those.
that
but
important
A lot
in
of
my
guys I know have those, and I'm like, settle down.
Oh,
No one's looking at your phone.
It was like because I catch it during like peak hour, and there's school children everywhere, and I felt quite uncomfortable watching this.
A mum looks over with like a disapproving
I know, literally.
look. Oh my God. I love this. Krystal says she's a proud sex-positive woman.
Love it.
And I was like, yes, you are.
Mm-hmm.
Same cannot be said for the other two.
But I feel like they gave it their best shot. Like,
They
I think,
did.
they were getting into it. I feel like we're in Ep 5 now.
Yeah.
I think the other
Come
girls,
on.
particularly Ali, is kind of, she's getting a bit more comfortable with this whole thing. I think she's found a couple of guys that she likes that like her back. So I think that's boosted her confidence, and she's like having a bit more fun.
I thought she would have fully spiraled and imploded by now. Like on the first episode when she was there asking for a tissue from the producer. I thought we were going to get that, but more. And I was excited. But she's kind of just like, I don't know.
Well,
she's like toughened up a bit, which I don't want.
I mean, I think Krystal is just this like ball of energy in another planet, and then Nicole is literally a model. Yeah. So I would also feel quite insecure.
Oh,
so
totally.
I'm sure,
You're right.
I'm sure during casting, Ali was like this really dynamic, charming girl. And then you put her on the island with all these cameras, and she's not like Krystal's on TV before. Nicole's a model. They're both used to cameras.
She's also been with someone from last season, and of course they're going to bring him out at some point.
Exactly. So I think she's just feeling a little nervous. But I thought this game, they were all really having fun, really getting into it. And this is like where the show really shines. Like it's silly, it's camp, it's like sexually explicit, it's stupid. Yeah. And it's just so much fun.
So they spin the wheel and they have to like do the thing. But then at some point they were making choices, or they just...
What was the choice?
Well, they like said that like Minjara chose golden showers, but I'm like, they spun the wheel.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. I really think
they
they're
were
doing
just-
him dirty.
Yeah.
Once again.
Yes, I think they just needed an excuse to. But that was a funny segment. Actually,
No, that
'cause it
was
kind of devolved
amazing.
into chaos.
Yeah.
And Abby starts screaming.
But up first is Jack, who does this. He gets 69ing, and so Caleb brings out a blow up doll. And I love this because Nicole's literally just like done this for real last night.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, I'm getting flashbacks. Which I was like, that's kind of hot.
It's so hot. I literally
Yeah.
wrote in my notes, kind of hot, to be honest.
Yeah, it was. Doug is up next. He has to bite Krystal with consent, of course, because, you know, we're all learning
We're
about,
all about
consent.
little
And
boys
it was
girls.
very awkward. And Krystal was like, no moist towel for you.
I don't know what. Maybe he was trying to be funny.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think when you get one like biting, that's kind of hard to
Do sexy.
Also, everyone
Come
else
on.
did it on like a
prop.
thing.
Yeah.
And he did it on Krystal. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't know. It wasn't. That one didn't do it for me.
No
Just say,
moist
no
towel.
way.
No moist towels around.
No.
Patty was like, sit down, mate.
Do you think Patty's hot?
Absolutely not. You too?
Well, no.
I
Okay.
mean, yeah, he's like total prawn energy.
Yeah. Look, he's not my type, but I don't know. There's something about when him and Krystal
I think
together.
I like him and Krystal together. I think he would know how to fuck for sure.
Well, apparently, he's got a big dick.
Yeah.
I'm sick of this.
Krystal's
like
they all have big
they
dicks.
all have big
So,
dicks.
allegedly.
And yes. No.
It's very annoying. Sean is next. Fuck, Sean is so gorgeous.
He's so hot. Is he your number one?
I reckon.
Yeah.
But I 100% think he's an F-boy.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to be proven correct.
Well,
I had some guests on that like, I was fooled by him. They're like, oh no, he's shy. I'm like, he's not shy.
Well, do
Look
you
at
think him or Joe. Like, one of them has to be
I think
an
both.
F-boy.
I think both of them are.
That would be so funny.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't.
seem
Imagine,
quite
imagine Joe's
confident.
not.
Imagine Joe isn't.
Yeah, imagine Joe's a nice guy at the end of
Oh,
it.
sorry. No, I meant Chin. Obviously, Joe is an F-boy.
Oh no,
Sean
Chin's a
and
nice
Chin.
guy.
Yeah,
for sure.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's a
yeah,
nice
yeah.
guy, and then Sean is
Yeah,
an F-boy.
Chin, yeah.
Yes, because those are the two that Nicole is like
Yeah.
after. Yes.
Yes,
So
she's
that-
got a type. She likes the pretty, like trim ones.
Mhm.
She's
no
yeah.
body fat.
No, she doesn't want big belly Joe.
No. Where Ali just wants giant blonde white man.
Yeah,
It's not for me.
she's Sean also gets 69, and he's like, I'm gonna outdo Jack because he's my biggest competition. And then I was like, well, maybe they could just 69. That could have been an idea.
This you need to be a producer on the show.
I would have been like, all right.
Yeah. Abby needs to be like, how
If you go
can I
boys.
make these guys fuck each other? Like every challenge that needs to be front of
Yeah.
mind.
Nathan would get a bit excited.
What we do?
I'm actually low-key jealous that Nathan got to witness. Like, you're telling me they're not all walking around naked in that villa and
True.
like slapping each other on the ass.
But-
Nathan got to witness that.
I wanna. Can you get Nathan on the pod? Because I'm
Working on it. We did call him Frankie Grande last week, so maybe not. But
Nathan, if you're watching,
Nathan,
which
we
we
love
know
you.
you are, please come on and tell us all the goss.
yeah, we want all of it for real.
He can tell us the actual like dick sizes.
Yeah.
I would.
He's
trust
got a
it
little
coming
black
from
book.
him.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't trust it from the women
From the yeah, true.
who have actually seen them.
Nicole thinks Sean did a better job than Jack, by the way, which I was like, okay.
Interesting.
But I think it's just because he didn't stay over, so now she needs that to happen.
Yeah, she wants to fuck.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get a confessional from the blow-up doll itself that says that Jack was better.
So dumb.
So silly.
Yes.
Jerome gets cunnilingus. How do you feel about Jerome? Friend of the pod.
We love Jerome.
So
Wait,
good.
Jerome is cowboy, yes.
Yeah,
no,
like
we-
larrikin.
Yes,
But
love
he's-
him.
I'm just annoyed. I thought he was going to be breakout star because first few episodes it was all the ass
Yeah.
eating, whatever. And now he's just like in the background.
Well, I think it's because in the first few episodes they haven't really formed any romantic or sexual connections yet. And so they can't really rely on the drama between like, oh, I really like him, but he, blah, blah, blah. They don't really have them established yet. So they can rely on like him being a really good character. But now that they've well
You're
and
right,
truly
now it's
got,
about the
like,
relationships.
yeah, so
true.
like he'll be going in the next few episodes, unfortunately.
Yeah, because he's not quite capturing the attention.
But
I guess him and Krystal have a little thing.
Yeah, which is why I love Krystal, because normally he would just be completely forgotten and invisible, and yet she's like making out with him and going on dates.
She wants the lols, as well as the bangs.
Yes.
Which
she will like go with any guys that That's what I like about her.
And the mids. Aaron gets dirty talk, and we didn't get to hear what he said, but I was aroused.
What do you think he would have said?
I don't know.
Would it be like
he's
Krystal's voice?
He's got like that kind of posh English accent. So when people have that, but then they say filthy stuff, I don't know. I find it hot. It's like, do you watch Industry?
No.
Oh my God, you have to watch Industry.
Yeah. Okay.
It's the horniest show on television. I can't believe no one's watching this show.
Have you asked this of every podcast?
No, I haven't. I will be though when they rock up. Like, no, get onto it. It's really horny. Nathan gets rimming and they're all like, I love that straight people are so titillated by the idea of rimming.
Yeah, I need this.
I'm like, that is Tuesday morning for me, guys.
Yeah. Do straight people rim? Listeners, call in now.
Yeah, but it's like a little bit outrageous.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they're getting more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say though, before we knew Nathan's sexuality, when in my notes, my live tweeting, when he said, I do love to rim, was his confessional. And I literally wrote,
confirm.
Are you joking me? question mark. So
and
it really got me going.
That, you know.
And then I did ask the question, do straight men like rimming? So
yeah, well, besides Jerome. Because Jerome brought it up in Ep1. He's like, love David Bowie and I love licking ass. And the two guys sat with him were like, no comment.
Boring.
So boring. Tim has to give a massage. And was it to Aaron? It was like, he had to give one of the boys a massage. Which I was like, that is hot.
Don't know who Tim or Aaron is.
Tim is like glasses, tats.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Was he up for elimination recently?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Nicole likes him though.
Was he the one who...
He's a good kisser.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Tim.
Yeah. And Aaron is covered in tats, bald British guy.
Yes.
Who I find very hot.
Yes, he is very hot. The one that Ali's just like, I haven't really dated guys like you.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
We
I
all...
wonder,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, whatever. I'm like,
Gotcha.
I'll have him. Shut up, Ali. Wes. And this was when I was like, who is Wes? Yes. And I've been recapping the show for 5 weeks, and I literally was like, I don't know whis person.
We saw a bit of Wes. I was like, oh well, he's going to get eliminated this episode.
Totally,
because he's getting that.
But his only line was, "My only regret was that I couldn't get my North African dick out." Which I was like, I actually was like, excuse me.
I clutched my pearls on the tram this morning.
Like I was like, well, I regret that too, because clearly.
That's all this
we
pod
wouldn't
wants.
mind, but also like, wow, I was taken aback just a tad.
Again, show us your dick.
Yeah, I was like, okay, wow. Then, this was when I got the most horny though, when Joe fucked the pillow. It was actually like,
what did he
pay-per-view
say? He was like,
territory. Like I would have totally put my credit card information.
This is
for the next scene
where you pay $6.99 on OnlyFans to subscribe, and then you immediately click unsubscribe because you don't want to renew it the next month.
Yes, I don't know what you're talking about. I would do that for Joe.
I would do that for Joe.
No, well, I would check on a forum first to see all the gays being like, "There's nothing even on there. Yeah. He doesn't even show poll." Never even posted poll, which is exactly what's
too real.
exactly what's going to happen with Joe after this show.
He'll make an OnlyFans.
So going to make one, and we're all going to pay $6.99, and then we're all going to message each other going, "Don't do it. There's nothing on there."
One person needs to pay, and then tell us all if it's worth it.
Guys, let's get the group chat started right now.
What did Joe say? He was like, "I want Ali to know that I fuck hard," or something.
Oh no! It literally, I got a little bit of a Sam. He was like, I love to fuck, and I know how to fuck, and I fuck hard. And I was like, whoa, Andrew Tate coming through.
On binge, man.
Yeah, it was wild. Then we get the Minjara golden shower moment where it's chaos and like
so good.
Which I feel bad for him because he has been the butt of a lot of jokes, but I guess that first time he did decide to just start rapping.
He's actually insane, but
yeah,
great.
Kind of an icon. Then Nugget just like clears the room and like wins the whole contest by fingering a papaya
and making it squirt everywhere. It was insane. And all the boys are like, yeah.
And then special shout out to the edit suite for the next shot, which was like a native bird just like pecking at the papaya. I was like, chef's kiss.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
This is just cinematic.
Art.
Yeah.
Then it's time for the mixer. Krystal says, I don't want any surprises. I just want to have a good night with my boys. I was like, you are so fun.
Love
Can we
it.
please go have
No.
like a cocktail sometime, Krystal?
Krystal, come on the pod.
Oh, please.
Have you like? Can we
They
do
can't.
that?
They're all signed NDAs and shit. They can't.
Yeah,
They
fuck
can't do this.
Oh, Krystal wouldn't care.
It's way more fun talking about it with you, babe. Nicole has her eyes on Tim and Sean still, she reminds us, but Jack is clearly the front runner at this point. Sean and Nicole have a chat, and this is I still don't buy he's a nice guy. I think he's doing a much better job than like Joe, for example.
What's making you think he's a nice boy?
It was really sus that first date, like
You'll have to remind.
when he went, he like had a story ready to go about how he's shy. His mum had to hold his hand at the hairdresser or something. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, that happened when you were 5.
Yeah.
Now you're not. And then you're therefore not shy anymore. Like,
So ever since then you've.
Yeah, it was the way it happened. I don't know. I'm onto him.
Okay. No, well, you seem confident.
Yeah. Because I think they want to have a shock reveal. And I think it's him.
And it has to be like a final 2.
It
has to be at least.
Yeah.
FBoys in the final 2. Oh, imagine if a girl has a final 2 and they're both FBoys.
I wonder if that's happened. I would love that.
So funny.
I actually, besides Nick and Molly, I can't remember the other pairs from last
Yeah, I know.
time. So.
Yeah. I think one was an FBoy and was just like, I'll split the money anyway. I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Paddy tries it on with Krystal, and then Doug comes over and he's like, oh, hey, sorry, bro. Can I just steal Krystal for a chat? He's like, yeah, just give me like 30 seconds. And he's like, 30, 29, 28.
An alpha.
And he's like, bro.
Those are axe murderer eyes in Paddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was trying to cuck Paddy. Look at me.
But Krystal was into it. She was like, I thought it was hilarious.
It's really, I think because Doug has such sweet dumb boy energy that like any time he does anything that's like a bit aggressive, like no one takes him seriously anymore.
Yeah.
He can kind of get away
Very
with
childish.
anything.
She was into it. Then Abby rocks up with the dreaded social media laptop. Which everyone is very like terrified
I
of.
love this. I don't know if this was in the American version, but I think this is such a brilliant.
So good.
Because it's exactly what everyone does.
Yeah.
So to bring that into I get that they, with these shows, they like isolate them in like a house, they take away their phones, but it's all very like not what the real world is, and they can have a bit of fun with that. But this is just like, yes, you would stalk their social media and make the most outrageous judgments on it.
And it was a full misdirect this time because I fully thought we were getting this so that we could find out that Joe had a girlfriend, right? Because that was all last episode was Joe's got a girlfriend on the outside. And I'm like, yes, this is where we're going to find out. But last thing I thought we were going to find out was that there is a homosexual rampant in the villa.
I love that they try to push the queerbaiting angle though. I was like, girl.
That was... I mean,
who are we kidding?
So they're trying to make the girls look like, they're very on the pulse and they're everything. I get it.
I know that you've just read my thesis.
Exactly.
We get it.
We all have.
Yeah.
No, but you're right. I was a bit like, all right.
Like
Abby's given them a few pointers on what to say.
And
because they can't go, ew, a gay, gross, fucking disgusting. He sucks dicks, gross. And
that would actually be kind of funny if they did.
You're like, guys, you have our permission.
Yeah, you can
if you just consulted us, we would have been like, just totally shame him. In fact, just like throw him in the ocean, like the New South Wales police used to do. Wow. This podcast takes a dark turn.
What's in that tea?
Wow. Yeah, look. So first up is Jerome. And then there's photos of him like super cut. Back in the day. And I thought this was mean, I thought, because it's like,
How old were the photos?
I don't know. They must have been old, but I felt bad for Jerome that they're just like bringing up pics of him when he was like.
But did they say like, oh, like wow, he's changed so much? Or
they did
I
a
think
bit. They kept it kind of cute, but I was like, oh, I think he looks fine.
Yes.
Either way,
he's beautiful inside and out.
Nugget was like wholesome because he's like but he's like a basketballer, so of course his socials would have to be squeaky clean, right?
Yeah.
Sean and Chad both have like really hot pics. I love that Sean's a tradie.
Yeah. Did that now? Who had the mirror selfie that they hated?
Okay, so can a straight woman write in and let me know what is wrong with mirror selfies? I'm literally posting one a day.
Yes, literally. I also wrote that in my notes of like, why?
In our world, that is completely acceptable.
Normal.
In fact, encouraged.
Is it something? Do they think it's like arrogant
Jack
or something?
Yeah,
because women. Is it okay for women to post mirror selfies?
This is what I'm learning about this foreign culture.
Yes,
I think that it is okay for a woman to do it because a woman is beautiful. But why would a man ever be vain like that? Because that's gross. That's the vibe I got.
But is there a little like misogyny to that? Like, we don't want a man to be acting like a woman because that's any kind of feminine traits in a man is unattractive.
There's the PhD. No, seriously though, I spiraled a little bit too, and then also I was like, oh my god, am I like, am I a misogynist from taking mirror selfies?
We need listeners to call in.
Yeah, please let me know because I'm highly confused by this. They were like, that is an instant.
Do you know
mirror selfie?
A woman?
How else do you take them?
I mean, I don't know. I don't really see what's wrong with it. He looks good, but also this is Joe who was taking it.
No, it was Jack. But he had like straightened his hair or something, and it was very airbrushed. I thought that part of it was gross.
But he's like is he a model? Surely he's done
he's
modeling.
A brewer.
All right. Well, that's right.
Apparently.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I thought that was very strange. Chad, of course, had like sexy pics because he's like Magic Mike.
Well, that's like his career.
But
so I don't blame
when
him.
they're professional and when they're taken by someone else, the girl's like, yeah, sure. And then it's like, oh no, how dare you take that yourself in the mirror, you slut.
I really need this explained.
Yeah, I need it explained. Doug's Insta, however, we don't get an explanation on.
Yes.
Because it's private.
Yeah. Which I kind of, like, I was like, oh yeah, people have private Instas all the time. That's normal. But then when she was like, but you're on a reality TV show, so what's
Isn't
happening?
that even more reason to make it private? I don't know. I thought it was completely fine. And in fact, I was like, well played, sir.
Yes. He outplayed the producers.
Yeah.
There's nothing they could do.
Yeah, they can't like force him to unlock it.
No. I wonder if they asked him and he said, get fucked. Because he knew what was coming. But I kind of, like, later when he was like, you can follow me and I'll show you my Instagram.
I actually was like, oh.
Yeah, I believed it.
And
he
was like,
cute.
and I'll follow you back. And I was like, that's real cute.
Yeah, he's cute.
She bought that as well.
Yeah. I don't think they actually gave a shit that it was private.
No,
they just kind of had to.
They had to ham it up because there wasn't any
conflict.
huge like bombshells.
Except.
Okay, so this is the moment we've been waiting for. But the way that they find out is first that he's at a Taylor Swift concert. They're like, oh, hang on, what's this on his TikTok? Is he? And then one of them's like, he's a fucking Swifty.
There's another word.
And I was like, ah! And I was like, disgusting.
Yuck.
And then they're like, hang on, what are all these posts? And then they like horror movie style, like dun dun dun, and it's like rainbow flags and like hashtag LGBT. I was screaming.
Oh, how good.
So good.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's that all about? Like, is he queerbaiting or what? But like, so are you watching Made in Bondi?
No. Okay, is anyone? Good. Are you watching it? You must be the only one.
Okay, my guest next week will disagree with you.
Okay, there's two people.
Already pre-planned a whole bit on it. Okay. So it is terrible, but it is fascinating. Okay. And one of the cast on that, who's really young, is a straight guy.
Yeah.
And we went and found his socials because we were so intrigued by how stupid this guy is. And he's got all these photos of him with his like rowing mates wearing like little crop tops and mini skirts at a festival. And I'm like, that is queerbaiting.
What festival?
I don't know. Some
festival?
Sydney. No.
Oh.
But they're just being like, haha.
Oh, like boys in girls' clothing is so funny and
so
stupid.
I feel like that, that's what they're talking about, I think. So straight guys must do this as a way to kind of like disarm women or something. I don't know. It must be happening.
Like they definitely on OnlyFans because
Oh, well,
surely
that's
just good business.
exactly.
It's just good financial planning.
Yeah, but if you're like appropriating queer culture for some reason,
I mean,
beyond actually anything for the
it's
gays.
only okay if you're hot, right?
Exactly.
That's what my 70,000 word
is that
thesis
is that what it
yeah,
says at the
it
end?
it was just one sentence. The whole thing. I passed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know who has not read your thesis?
Who?
Andrew Tate. Who's our next guest? Here he is.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod, Andrew Tate. Wow. So then we get Joe has like an airbrushed photo with some abs. That was some AI generated shit. That photo of Joe. Like, sorry.
No.
The girls are just like, hot. I'm like, how dumb are you women?
No.
That is
Like,
not real.
It was
That
fucked.
absolutely not real.
No. That was unwell.
Yeah. It looked like, have you seen some of those OnlyFans boys that do the like enhanced by AI photos? And it's like, have you not seen these? No. It's wild. It looks like somewhere between like manga.
It's like
and
negative
real.
body fat.
Yeah. So
I
dumb.
honestly felt that this Andrew Tate storyline was more interesting than the Nathan.
Me
being
too.
queer storyline.
Nathan who? What?
Yeah, literally.
I was more scandalized
Yes.
by Big Dumb Joe
Mm-hmm.
being like, I mean, look, I don't agree with his outlook on women, but I think he's a great role model for young boys. I was like, what are you talking about? That is outrageous.
Because so many of these guys would have these kind of misogynistic views. So for this to actually be like a storyline that they talk about.
Great.
So
well
good.
done,
So
producers. So good.
Good. And he only followed. The reason they found out is because he only follows 4 people. One of them Andrew Tate.
People that only follow
25% of
people
his
are
feed.
serial killers.
Yes.
Like further evidence that he has in fact killed
Yeah.
and will kill again.
I mean, I think it's so funny what Joe was saying about Andrew, though. Maybe not funny, but I feel like that's all of Andrew Tate's fan base is just like these lost little isolated boys who have lost their sense of identity. No way of like rationalizing that. No
who
outlet.
either grew up with 7 siblings or an only child, because we're still not sure which one it was. But yeah, so
And poor Ali.
and then fucking Ali. Well, I don't know.
She felt embarrassed by it. You could tell that she
then
felt
put
that,
him up for elimination,
Yeah,
send him
literally.
home. The fact that she
probably wasn't
finds
allowed
that out
to.
and then doesn't put him up, but also she goes, oh well, I'm gonna have to have a one-on-one with him later to talk about this. And I'm like, again with the one-on-ones, I'm like, you're giving him opportunities to gaslight you, and he's actually very good at it.
But is
Credit
he
where
though?
it's due.
I feel like
No, he
maybe he's
is.
good with Ali.
That's
but
what I'm
like-
saying. He's good with her.
Yeah, but Krystal
And
was
that's the game.
But
Krystal comes
Krystal-
over and blows up his game.
Exactly. Like he says one sentence to Krystal and she's just like, what the fuck are you on about? Like it doesn't work for a single second on Krystal, but Ali's like, oh, actually maybe men are better than women. I don't know. You know, it's just, it doesn't like, even when he's trying to say like, oh, you know, I don't believe in his views about women, but blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Ali, ask a single follow-up question and the misogyny will come pouring out, I promise. Just give me 30 seconds with Joe to ask him a couple of questions
To do what?
to have a very serious
To
conversation.
pretend I'm a pillow.
A blow-up doll.
Yeah, look, no, you're right. He does need interrogation, and that's why Krystal comes over. So she comes over and she's like, Ali, step aside, little girl. And she's like,
Little girl.
she's like, can you just explain to me
No, go on.
what, like, Andrew Tate, like, do you agree with his? And then he goes,
What is that about?
What is it about? And then he's like, he's just a really good like male role model. So firstly, what? Every kid needs a fucking male role model, do they? Fuck off.
It's certainly not
Since
Andrew
when?
Tate.
Yeah, I don't know. And then like, if they do, does it need to be that? Like,
No. But maybe that's what he's saying. Maybe he was like, I'm all, you know, growing up in this, you know, feminist world. I'm hearing that men are awful and I have no role models to look up to because all men are bad. And then Andrew Tate's, you're not bad, actually. You can just be like me.
It's literally just that. It's people with a small worldview, and then someone comes along and they're like, everything that you feel is absolutely valid.
Yeah.
And you don't need to change anything about you ever.
Yeah.
Like, sounds great.
It's for us, like a scared little isolated boy with identity issues, like that would be very attractive, I can imagine. Not me.
Well, so I didn't really, I mean, I'd heard the name, but I wasn't super familiar with this bloke. So, you know, of course, did a Google
You
during
should
the
follow
show.
him. He's a really good
He's
role
one
model.
of 4 people I follow. But no, I started, you know, I Googled and it's like, you only need to read like the first thing to
Human
be like,
trafficking,
oh
like,
no,
oh.
yeah, you only need to see that and
Yeah.
then like a lot of sexual assault allegations, a lot of stuff.
Who
It's-
amongst us, though, hasn't human trafficked a bit, Sam?
just
Come
a little
on.
bit. You can still do that and then also be a great role model for
Great
young
role
boys.
model.
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah.
Joe.
Poor little Joe.
He just needs a role model.
He gets very angry at Krystal.
Yeah,
And
not
he's done
happy.
this before. He cannot stand that this like fierce woman of color is like telling him, and they're smarter than him, and he's like able to stand up to him. He hates it.
Yep.
He also like uses his size a lot to intimidate people. He always gets up and like walks away. I've noticed. But yeah, she really is just like, okay. I like she doesn't back down. She's like, well, that sucks. Blah blah blah. And then she gets up. She's like, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And then what does he say? He goes, settle down.
Yes.
He goes, I just don't agree with his uncle. Settle down. And she's like, that's it for me. Like, no
Settle
one,
down.
no one tells Krystal to settle down.
No.
Fuck off, mate.
And you could see Ali was just shrinking in this conversation. Like, she felt like, you know, that she'd been lied to this whole time, which very sad. But also, she felt it was a reflection on her. Like, Joe is her number one, pretty much. This whole, everyone knows it. And then all of a sudden, he's this, like, horrible misogynist.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I could see why she would be feeling embarrassed and small. And before Joe expressed interest in her, like the first, you know, he literally said, actually, sorry, I'm into
That's why
Nicole,
she
who's
likes
hot."
him. Let's be
Oh
real.
my God, I know.
And he's tall. And
He's
Ali's
tall
basic.
and big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally
Cool.
the only reason. And I get it. Because we've all been there where, like, you know, there's this person that, like, everyone's after, whatever. So you're like, oh, maybe I should be after them as well. Like, we get it. But then you grow out of that, doll.
Can't you, like, sniff out, like, women are pretty good at sniffing out the misogyny in men. I don't understand why, like, Andrew Tate levels of misogyny should be pretty obvious to people.
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't Ali be kind of on top of this and just be like, yeah, we're clearly not compatible. But maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe their conversations have been pretty surface level.
Exactly. Then it's like whiplash into dates. And Patty is Krystal's date because she wants to dig a bit deeper. And obviously, you know, she's just shagged Doug. So who
Moving
next?
on to the next Loch Ness Monster.
They do. Oh my God.
Sorry, I'm jumping ahead again.
No, it's so good. They do like a sexy body painting thing. This is very from the Channel 10 book of, The Bachelor or whatever. It's like, body painting. Because it's like a little bit it's PG, but it's like a little bit sexy.
Yeah. And then they have to wash afterwards.
But then that shower, I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
The shower got very dirty very quickly.
So did I.
Oh, yeah, you're here for Patty. I'm into it. And she gets the Loch Ness Monster out.
Yes. I liked her. Oh, she's so good in the like master interviews as well, which is just,
Oh, and then she goes, the Loch Ness Monster is real, ladies and gentlemen.
it's very real.
It's very real. Nicole chooses Nathan, but it's not a date. It's an interrogation.
How proud of yourself were you when you came up with that?
I literally just came up with it right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's
good.
shitting himself because he's like
He's very nervous.
He's like,
you
I'm
can
about
tell.
to get like outed.
Yeah.
But
I thought
like
this was going to happen in the finale, and yet it's
Same.
like 5 days after his
Yeah. So she's like, okay, queerbaiting is not cool because I've learnt what it is just today.
Abby sent me Michael's thesis.
Abby sent me Michael's thesis, and basically, you're not hot enough to queerbait.
Exactly. That's what she's learned. Yeah.
Not cool. Then he goes, look, all right, you're beautiful, and so let 1,000 blossoms bloom. All of the like, he's literally like, and then I knew as soon as he said that, I was like, he's gay.
He's gay.
He's like, I can't do it. He's like, he's like thing. It would have been funny even if like someone brought a papaya over or something, and he was like, get that out of my face, get that shit out of my face.
Squirting fruit out.
Yeah. And then he comes out. He's like, look, I'm an F-boy, but I'm also a faggot F-boy. So that's extra good. And I was like, wow, representation.
Oh my God, finally.
I felt seen.
Finally. It was a very beautiful coming out moment.
It was
honestly.
beautiful.
Like, Mum,
Dad.
I'm an F-boy.
And they're like sitting like in the water or like near the beach kind of thing. It
very
was,
romantic.
yeah. And then she's like, well, and her face is like, she looks actually shocked.
I think
she knew.
Yeah, and I think they like clearly she was shock reacted at something, and they've just taken that shot and zoomed it and used it every time.
Threw a shark in the water. Yeah.
How shocked can we really be?
Yeah, with that hair. I mean, yeah, the Frankie Grande of it all. This is when I was like screaming at the TV screen. I'm like, this is where I would have loved to seen when Nicole is like, so Nathan, let's talk about all the boys in the house. Yes. And they like do each other's nails and like braid each other's hair and talk about the boys. That's what I wanted.
Literally.
Which we looks like we're getting that next week. Which I cannot wait for.
I think so. But I wonder how pre-planned that element of it was.
Very.
Do you think like he was going to be? I mean, the social media was going to come out.
They planted that social stuff to out him, I reckon, so they could do this.
Yeah,
maybe
because like none of the girls were showing interest.
Yeah. So then we go back to Ali and Nugget's date. Well, she's like, I picked Nugget because the producers told me that I had to pick Nugget so people don't think that I'm racist. And he's
hot.
Very, but also I like his vibe, how he's like, well, you want to find out if I'm a good kisser? Yeah, I thought that was like a good like game. I don't know. Yeah. That would work on me.
No, I think
and she's like, oh, fuck. Do I really have to do this? I guess I'm doing it. She's like, look, everyone, this is how not racist I am. I'm going to kiss. Tolerant. I'm going to TikTok. I love it. Yep. Cool. Great. Okay. I've done it now. Can we wrap it up?
Done?
Can we wrap up this
Where's
segment?
Joe?
Where's Chad? I need to look at some blonde hair. But then she's like, what are you here for? And I'm like, come on with these questions. Like, this show is so stupid. Like, do you really think his answer is going to be like,
love?
Yeah, and love specifically with you. Like, come on. Yeah. And then he mentions the money and it's like, F-boy alert thing. And I'm like, sure.
Like
whatever you need to use.
Exactly. Like he has had a total of one conversation with Ali. He spent 15 minutes with her. Like, and he's meant to be like, yeah, I ever see myself falling in love. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh, well. I think Ali was just looking for an excuse. As soon as he said that, she's like, oh, thank God.
Totally. It's elimination time. And there is a little gift on Ali's chair, which I was like, all right, here we go. And it's Chad. Oh, you got a little gift.
What a Chad.
But also, like, if they can do shit like this, like, come step up your game,
so
boys.
do you think, like, he just, like, left and went to the shops and went to Chemist Warehouse and got a, $12.99 perfume?
Gina Liano's. Gina Liano.
Do you think it was, like, Delta, maybe?
Did they show what it was?
No.
I'm not, like, a perfume girly, so I have no idea anyway, but, yeah.
How random though, like
so random. Then Nicole is like, I've got tea on Nathan, but I'm gonna hold on to it for now. Which I was like, good girl. The girls strut in. Ali's like, oh, the gift, blah 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 blah. And they're all going, oh, the perfume. And Joe is just like, fuck. Joe just like punches the wall,
just breaks his chair. Do you think next week, now they've seen now all the chairs are going to be piled up with gifts because every boy is going to buy a little perfume?
Well, I can't wait till they all find out that Nathan's a faggot because Joe's going to have something to punch next week. He's going to be like, I'm like, oh, sorry.
Sorry, no.
I thought that, thought that's what you guys liked.
I mean. What?
I mean,
no. What? Anyway,
fuck me like I'm your pillow. I'm your special pillow, Chad. Joe is like, fucking Chad. Abby asks everyone, so did the social media laptop inform any of your decisions tonight? And Krystal's like, yeah, sure. good to know what there's going on the
Whatever.
outside world. She was like a little bit pissed off about the private thing, but not that much.
Well, there was nothing else,
No,
really.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
none of them had that much controversial
Yeah.
stuff.
Ali's bottom two are no surprise.
Wow.
Aaron and Nugget.
What do they have
She's
in common? Can't quite put my finger
not
on it.
very good at. Anyway, Krystal's bottom two are Godwill, who I'm like, no airtime. And he actually seems
so sad.
really funny.
Yeah.
He had a few funny little moments.
I think if he was
the
like
smoko.
not an intruder,
Yeah,
then
true.
maybe we could have seen a bit more of him. But they
Seems
just brought, and the
charming.
other intruders just immediately, like Chad was just like Ali's.
Yeah.
And then Nathan obviously is Nathan.
But
And then he
then-
just didn't really have anything to
But,
do.
and then when she picks Doug next, you're like,
Oh,
oh, well,
wow.
see you later, Godwill. Like, you
Yeah.
just knew that he was
Yeah, it was
gone.
a bit
'cause-
boring.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like when they pick someone that they're like clearly very into.
I think
don't
it's
know.
like they have to,
Yeah,
know,
keep
do
them on their
some kind of
toes.
keep them on their toes, a bit of drama. You know,
Yeah.
Doug was on private or something. I mean, if that's the most
Yeah.
interesting conflict they can think of this
Yeah.
episode for Doug.
Nicole picks Minjara and Nathan. So you're like,
Mhm.
and this is when you're like, oh, is she going to get rid of Nathan?
Mhm,
I thought she was going to out him at the
I know, I was
ceremony,
like,
which kind of would have been fun, but I'm glad we get
Yeah,
Nathan with the girls next week.
I think they're probably a bit like, it's probably not great to out someone, even though,
Yeah.
I don't know what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna let Nathan be at the finale, and then maybe like just before the finale,
They're
like,
going to put him in drag and he's going to perform at the finale.
he'll come out in a harness, go on a barber.
Oh my God.
Mm. Do you think he's the kind of guy that will go to barber?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but have we seen him there?
Well, this is the thing. I'm like,
He's
Nathan,
Melbourne, though.
Nathan, reach out. Like,
How old is
where
he?
have you been? Oh, probably like
22?
29 or something.
Okay,
Don't you think?
I don't. Yeah, I think so.
He's giving late 20s. He's giving Richmond energy,
Mm.
or like, I mean, he could be like
Windsor?
a Southside girly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
No, he's
TikToks-
giving suburbs. He's giving like good Greek boy out in the fucking suburbs.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry,
Oh,
I've just
yeah.
completely changed my.
Yeah, no, I actually.
Don't
that,
you
that
think?
makes
I
more
think he
sense
lives
now.
with mum and dad, and the TikToking is like, yeah.
So, have you like
Right
had a
in.
deep dive of his like social?
No,
media?
I just looked for 2 seconds and I was like, okay.
Yeah, the TikTok kind of threw me what they showed on the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm very excited for him to come on as a guest.
Me too.
Mm.
Nicole is like, look, Minjara, water sports is cute and everything. I'm definitely not kink shaming because we would never kink shame on this show.
Never.
Water sports is cool. It's just not my personal preference
Mm-hmm.
of what I like to do.
And I just want to remind you that he did spin the wheel and didn't have it.
Exactly.
So I'm not quite sure what. This
Yeah.
is.
They just need, look, they're doing a great job
Yeah, that's
over
fine.
there at FBoy HQ.
They're just.
We love your work.
They're weeding out some of the ones that are clearly not going to be anywhere near the finale. And I
Yeah.
think now's Ep5. Now's the time to start doing
Yeah,
some
yeah.
culling.
Krystal calls out the private thing, and this is where he goes, look, we'll I'll accept your follow and I'll follow you back. And I was like, oh. Aaron gets sent home by Ellie,
See ya.
which I was like, he's so gorgeous, but sure.
Yeah. Just not her type
yeah.
for some reason. We don't know.
She's like, can we do a double elimination?
There's a couple of guys over there that I said I also like to.
Oh my God. Stop. Krystal sends home Godwill, which we knew was going to happen.
See
Come
ya.
on. And Nicole sends home, wait for it, water sports Minjara himself, which, yeah. And then he's like, what does he say on the way out? He's like, yeah, something.
The
the
king.
king. He does
King
the
of
king thing, which
FBoy.
I actually loved this. And
was
Abby's
deranged.
like, okay, big
I-
dog.
Big dog, yeah, I kind of loved Abby's, little quips as they walk out.
yeah.
Yeah, big dog.
Yeah. And then we get the reveals. So
Yes.
Aaron was a nice guy, which I totally thought.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Godwill as well was a nice guy, which
Mhm.
again, like we didn't see much of him,
We
but
saw
he
nothing.
seemed super lovely.
Sure.
So that checked out. And then of course, Minjara is the king,
King
big dog of FBoys. And yeah, Jack is still not wearing a shirt.
Did you watch the coming up next week?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we
course.
going to talk about
Yeah,
that?
we can. Yeah. So now it's turned into the mole,
Mm-hmm.
and Nathan is the gay mole in the villa, which is
Dream
heaven.
roll.
It's taking us back to what was that show, Playing It Straight?
Yes!
It's literally like,
I
do you
love
think
that show.
someone at Binge HQ found that show and they were like, why aren't we doing this?
Literally,
Bring it
why don't we
back.
do it? I would love to bring it back. It is so funny.
Yeah.
Such a good show. Yes, no, this is perfect. Except it's like the opposite because he's playing it straight for the boys.
Oh, it's
Because the girls now know that it's gay.
Cannot wait for next week.
Yeah.
Michael McDermott, thank you so much for being
so much for
here.
having me. What an episode.
PhD came in handy.
Finally.
We'll talk soon, babe.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to The Cringe is Real with me, Sam Cremant. If you would like to support the show, rate, review, share, and tell your friends about it. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. Links are in the show notes.